A lot of guys competing hard every day. You know, it's a competition in the film room as much as it is on the field, which is a good thing. You know, there's been a lot of growth from a schematic standpoint and understanding what we're trying to do defensively. You know, what leverage side they need to have, what's the checks we got to get into, and you know, what depth we need to play at, things like that. And so it just creates more consistent play. And that group's been pretty consistent you know, through the first week of fall camp.
What do you need? Like, what is the thing you demand out of safeties? Like, what's the most important thing for that role?
I mean, they got to be great communicators, not only IDing formations and getting us on the right call, but also situational football. You know, what's the down and distance, where are we at on the field? You know, all those indicators. You know, whether it's a 2nd and 1, you know, and what that means, and you know, those guys got to be the quarterbacks on the field because they got the best vantage point. And so, you know, you got to be able to communicate. In order to communicate effectively, you got to know what you're doing from a schematic standpoint. And like I said, I've been pleased with that group. Just the amount of mental errors have been small. You know, definitely gone down since the springtime. But we got to continue to rep it and get better. And our offense is doing a good job of preparing us for that. You know, Tony and those guys have shown us a lot of different sets, a lot of different formations, and has forced us to adjust and think on the fly, which is awesome.
How do you teach that to be communicative?
Well, you just got to demand it. You know, that's something that we harp on. I remember in the springtime, those guys weren't communicating with enough volume, so I was in the position meeting room and made them say it loudly. You know what I mean? So, but those guys have embraced that aspect of playing the position. I've been happy so far.
Quan and Sydney, inherited those guys. What do each of them bring to the position?
Versatility. I've been happy with the athleticism that they've shown, the attention to detail that they've shown, and just their competitive nature. You know, they're understanding that reps are limited, and you know the best 11 are going to be on the field. So you know, the consistency with which they play is important in terms of building trust within not only the coaching staff but within their teammates, and you know the most consistent and the most productive guys will play.
You've spoken a lot about communication from the safeties and consistency. How do you go about adding that for a group that's kind of struggled a little bit with that in the last couple of seasons?
You know, the past is the past. You know, I'm not focused on anything other than well, how can we get better today? How can we get better tomorrow? And so, whether that was a problem in the past or not, I have no idea. I wasn't here. I just know that those guys are doing a good job of it right now.
Sydney and Eddie and all those guys, Quan, like Jeremy mentioned, have all kind of got good game experience. How much benefit does that to building the consistency that you need, especially from upperclassmen?
I mean, experience is something that you can't really teach in a film room, right? And so I think just kind of going through the fire and understanding the pressure that it brings with playing, big time football and going through certain scenarios. Sometimes your best teachers are failures, and those are things that you can't really simulate, in the film room or on the practice field. And so, definitely added experience is just nothing but beneficial to moving forward.
How's Tank moved, worked with you guys, especially the guys up front? How have they transformed since he's come here? And then
it's not only the guys up front. I mean, I think just collectively as a team, we look a little bit different than we did in the springtime. Guys are in shape right now. This, coming into a fall camp, I think as a team, this is the best shape that I've seen guys in. And so Tank, like I've said previously, Tank is a rock star. I haven't been around a better strength coach than him, and we're blessed to have him on our staff.
I apologize if I asked, but yesterday's scrimmage, how would you summarize this correctability standpoint or just overall summary?
Obviously there's things that we need to clean up. You're never perfect. No play is ever really perfect. So there's definitely things to clean up, but I thought it was from an execution standpoint, it was pretty clean for the first scrimmage of fall camp. I thought we tackled really well, which is something that you always kind of worry about. Not going live. I thought the guys competed, all the way throughout, and we were put in some situations that required some thinking, and guys kind of worked through it. There was good energy, and guys were having fun. And I just think that you can't lose sight of that as well. We're playing a game, but at the same time, you're not just playing; you're going to try to win a game. And so that heightened execution, that heightened intensity, and attention to detail, something that we got to continue to build and continue to be consistent with.
How was week 2 practice different from week 1 for you?
You know, you kind of put in your early down package week 1, and now you're starting to get into more situational ball, some more third down packages. Now, you know, you're going to get to 2 minute, you're going to get to goal line, you're going to get to short yardage. So all your situational categories are sort of being put in now. You take a step back and you look at, you know, what the guys are retaining and kind of hone in on what you're going to focus on moving into the season.
When you got to the safety room, like, what did you notice of like that?
They were hungry to learn.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you know, it was like immediately I had their attention, which was awesome, and they had mine. You know, it was fun getting to know everybody, getting to know sort of their backgrounds. You know, what makes them tick. You know, how best do they learn? You know, how best can I help them? And I learned a lot from them as well. So it's been a fun group. I can't wait to get into my own house, like have them over for dinner, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But I've really been happy with the way they've worked and their progress so far.
What's the house situation?